We are in part 9 of lesson 92, and so we are focusing on the perfect tense. Now remember, the perfect tense has everything to do with your EDs and your auxiliary verbs and your irregular verbs, but we are mostly going over irregular verbs in here. But look at this one. This one, we are not using an irregular verb, but do you remember raise was one of those really difficult words? Is it rise or is it raise? So I am featuring this one, even though this is not an irregular verb. It's just a really hard one. So now the definition of raise is, it means it's an increase. It means to lift up. Now with raise, remember we have to have help with that. Rise can do it on its own, but raise, we need to have help. So if I raise a child, does that child need to be helped being raised? That's how you can help tell the difference on how to use raise or rise. Now remember, raise, if you look at this, I was raising cats. Is this a transitive verb or an intransitive verb? Paul?
Oh, transitive.
This is transitive because you have a direct object. So this, because you have a direct object, this is a transitive verb. In the present tense, I raise cats. See, that's your simple present tense. And that's your main word, and it means increase, to lift up. It means help. This is a transitive verb. I raise cats. There's your subject, your verb, and your direct object. Boom, boom, boom. That's transitive verb. Yes. Now, raise is a simple tense. It sits in the present all by itself. If you want the progressive, you just drop the E and add your ing to get the progressive tense. But we are really wanting you to see the difference. This is not an irregular verb, Paul. This is the simple past of raised and the past participles raised. So when you are not hitting an irregular verb, these are crazy easy. Because you don't have to say, oh, is that sitting in the past? You know. And all the difference is you do not use an auxiliary verb in the simple past, and you do use an auxiliary verb in the perfect. So let's look at this. We have the past tense. We're focusing on the past tense, and I did mix these up. So look, the past tense, and I did the progressive, the perfect, and then the simple. So look, past tense, if we're sitting in the progressive, you have to use your auxiliary verb was. So we are staying in the singular, and we're staying singular here, but in the past tense. Okay, so I was raising cats, you were raising cats, Dan was raising cats. Third person, singular, using was. Second person, singular. First person, singular, you're using was. You is always were. The past perfect, now you're using the auxiliary verb had. If you're using perfect, and it's sitting in the past, you have to use had. I had raised cats, you had raised cats, Dan had raised cats. Past simple, I raised cats. Look, you're taking that. Look at the difference right here with the simple. There's not a helping verb, and right here, Paul, there is a helping verb right here. That's the difference. You raised cats. Look, there's no helping verb. There's not a helping verb here, but there is in the perfect. Dan raised cats. And what's so funny is Dan would never raise cats because he's highly allergic. So he would.
I'm not deathly allergic.
Daniel is pretty allergic to cats. So it's kind of funny as I was writing this out. So Dan, there's not a helping verb right here. Dan raised cats. Oh my gosh. I spelled that wrong. Oh, I tell you what, rewriting these over and over and over again just kind of jumbles up your mind. So Dan raised cats. No helping verb, helping verb. Now, let's look in the future tense. Are you ready for this, Paul? Future tense. We're going to go with the future progressive. I will be raising cats. Look, we're going to use will be. You will be raising cats. Dan will be raising cats. Future tense perfect. What do we have to use in the future tense for perfect? I will have raised cats. You will have raised cats. Dan will have raised cats. Now if we look at the future tense for the simple, you just use the word will. I will raise, I thought I did it wrong again. I will raise cats. You will raise cats. Second person, singular. Dan will raise cats. Third person, singular. First person, singular. Present tense. Now let's look at the progressive. We are in the singular, first person. I am raising cats. Look, you have to use the correct auxiliary verb. Singular takes the singular verb. I am raising cats. You are raising cats. Second person always takes are. Are is plural, but in second person, if you are saying it singular, it will be a singular verb. Dan is raising cats. Singular takes the singular in third person. See how present changes all over the place. Now, the present perfect. That's where we really want to focus on, the present perfect. What auxiliary verb do we have to use in the present perfect tense? Have. And then you're using your past participle. I have raised cats. You have raised cats. Dan has raised cats. Look, it's in the present. So this auxiliary changes in third person to has. So present tense, in the simple, I raise cats. You raise cats. Dan raised. Boop. Dan, third person, singular, takes the singular verb. Dan raises cats. The simple is raise without the auxiliary verb. Look, progressive is your auxiliary verb, your helping verb plus raising. And the perfect is the helping verb plus raised. And your simple past is just raised without a helping verb. The simple past and the perfect are the same verbs. You just use them differently. All right, that is it in this lesson, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching.